Hey there! Welcome to Jackie Talks Horror. I'm Jackie, and today I'm giving a rundown of 5 horror films hitting cinemas in January and February 2026. I didn't include the big, heavily covered releases like Soulmate, 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, and Scream 7, as I think they're going to get plenty of coverage elsewhere, and I want to highlight some of the hidden gems and under-the-radar horrors coming up that deserve a little more attention. As always, I'll be using images and trailers from the films, and will put links to the trailers and any articles I use in the description below. Okay, so let's kick off with a creature feature that has been making some noise, and probably the only one that has actually had a bit of coverage. Primate, coming to cinemas on the 9th of January 2026. Directed by Johan Roberts, who also directed 47 Meters Down and The Strangers Prey at Night, and it has a runtime of 89 minutes. The film follows a group of friends: Lucy, played by Johnny Sequoia, Hannah, played by Jessica Alexandra, and Kate, played by Victoria Wyant, that whilst on holiday at Lucy's place, find her family has a pet chimp called Ben, and what happens when Ben suddenly turns from a loving pet into an angry, aggressive predator the girls must escape from. This is one that premiered and opened fantastic fast, and early reviews are promising, with people saying this is like the first few minutes of Nope on steroids once it gets going. Samantha McLaren in HorrorPress.com wrote, "Primate is the animal attack meets slasher movie you didn't know you needed," and, on Ben's creation itself, said, "Movement specialist Miguel Torres-Umber, who portrays Ben, initially imbues a chimp with lovable warmth that makes his feverish, trembling intensity all the more frightening as the sickness takes hold." So Roberts has previously shown that he can handle a creature feature with 47 Meters Down, so expecting this to be right up his street. And to me, what adds a touch of reality to this is a real-life pet chimp attacks that have been recorded over the years. This combined with animatronic effects and expert movement work for Ben, which critics have singled out, the result promises to be a gruesome, gnarly and utterly convincing horror experience, blending classic creature feature thrills with slasher intensity. Okay, so next up is Night Patrol, hitting cinemas on the 16th of January 2026. Directed by Ryan Prowse and has a runtime of 144 minutes. The film follows LAPD officer played by Jermaine Fowler and his partner played by Scream King Justin Long, who are focused on navigating the dangerous streets of their old neighbourhood. When they discover a faction of the local police is secretly harbouring a horrifying threat, they must put aside the differences with local gangs and confront the twisted conspiracy head-on. There is very little information for this on IMDb. However, the film premiered at Fantastic Fest back in September, and the reviews may be mixed but promising. Steve Rapoke in thirdcoastreview.com said, "The performances, especially from Cyclone, Michaud and Long, are stellar. Primarily because they are so fully committed to make this outrageous premise feel grounded and incredibly relevant. I can't wait for people to see this and start talking about every aspect of his inventive yet familiar tale." And Mike Joy from HorrorNews.net said, "Night Patrol with CM Punk, Justin Long and Mike Ferguson is a fully charged adrenaline rush." Justin Long and Rogue Cops? What else could a horror fan ask for? And this is one I'm keen to watch. And for fans of urban horror comedy like Night Comes For Us or Attack the Block, Night Patrol delivers the same high-energy, chaotic thrill with its own distinctly outrageous twist, so it's a must-watch. Okay, so next up is Send Help, coming to cinemas on the 30th of January 2026. Directed by Sam Raimi, marking his first horror since the acclaimed Drag Me to Hell. Send Help follows 2 colleagues, Linda Little, played by Rachel McAdams, and Bradley Preston, played by Dylan O'Brien, as it becomes stranded on a deserted island when they're the only survivors of a plane crash. And it turns their old power dynamic on its head, and they have to work together to stay alive and get off the island. Now Bruce Campbell is rumoured to be in it, and is on the IMDb cast list, and for some fans, even the hint that he could show up is enough to secure their tickets. The early reviews will no doubt confirm or debunk his involvement, and just how much we're getting of him. Described as a mix between Castaway and Misery, Send Help promises a tense psychological thriller vibe. Raimi's experience in blending horror with darkly comic and tense storytelling, as seen in Drag Me to Hell, suggests that this could be a triumphant return to form and may even pave the way for more horror from him. What sets this one apart for me is the hope of Raimi's signature blend of psychological terror, shocking scares, and moments of dark humour, making the isolation and survival story feel gripping, unpredictable, and genuinely nerve-wracking for audiences. Okay, so now for the first of the films coming in February is Cold Storage, hitting cinemas on the 13th of February 2026. Directed by Johnny Campbell, and this has a runtime of 99 minutes. It's being billed as a full-on splatter-filled body horror comedy and shows Tea-Cake, played by Joe Keery, and Naomi, played by Georgina Campbell, as employees of a self-storage company that was built on top of an old US military base, on a night shift that turns into a nightmare when an invisible and out-of-control threat escapes from underground. This is a great cast, as I'm fans of both of these two actors. I love Joe Keery in Stranger Things, and Georgina Campbell is quickly becoming a horror darling for me. But what seals the deal is that Liam Neeson is in this as retired bioterrorist agent Robert Quinn, brought in to help contain the threat. Coming off the back of his comedy performance in The Naked Gun, it'll be interesting to see what tone his character brings, and I see that Vanessa Redgrave is on the cast list as well. I'm not sure she's done many horror films, but I love to see her in a film, and I have to say that in this case, the cast is the main draw for me. With this promise of a mix of over-the-top gore, outrageous scenarios, and dark comedy, Cold Storage feels like a cross between classic body horror films such as The Stuff and modern horror comedies like Tremors, and so this sounds like it could be a perfect horror comedy to watch with friends. So the last one on the list, hitting cinemas on the 20th of February 2026, is Redux Redux. Produced, written and directed by brothers Kevin and Matthew McManus, this film follows Irene Kelly, played by Michaela McManus, making it a truly family vision and production, as she travels through parallel universes to repeatedly murder her daughter's killer, while she tries to hang on to her humanity and her sense of identity as each kill takes its toll. Redux Redux hit the festival circuit earlier this year and gained some strong overall reviews. Gavin Logan for the FrightClubNI.com caught it at its premiere at Fright Fest and said, "Perhaps taking a little influence from the work of Christopher Nolan, but on a fraction of the budget. Redux Redux is a really stellar piece of filmmaking, tense, absorbing, innovative, and with fantastic performances from the cast." And Abe, for RewardsBuzz.com, said, "Redux Redux is an enthralling tale of multiversal revenge, and both talk about how the film's success is all down to the excellent performance of the actors, and that the film doesn't get bogged down in the sci-fi aspect." This is exactly the kind of film that hits my sweet spot. I love stories about characters who are battling themselves as much as they're battling the situation around them, especially when they're pushed into choices none of us would ever like to face. Redux Redux looks like it taps into that perfectly. It has shades of Possessor, maybe not in the style, but in the way it follows someone whose identity and morality unravel through the act of killing. Only here, the assassin isn't carrying out a job for someone else. She's doing it for some deeply personal revenge, which adds a whole different emotional weight. If you like high-concept stories, grounded by character, emotion, and ethical collapse, this looks like it's one to mark on your calendar. Okay, so that's all for this video. So that's my rundown of 5 lesser-known horror films coming in January-February 2026 that I think deserve some love. Was your most anticipated on there, or did I miss one that you're excited about? Do leave your comments down below, but remember to be respectful. And remember, this is only my pick of January-February 2026. I would love to know what yours is. I'm sure it's different to mine, and it would be a boring old world if we all like the same things. Thanks so much for watching, and if you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that bell so you don't miss what's coming next on this channel. This is Jackie signing off. Take care, and see you next time.